episode number 232.
But in the industry, entrepreneurs just expect that like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to start making money. That's not how ads work, and they never have. You start tomorrow, you start testing. And everything in digital marketing will be a test because, again, you need to hone in on your messaging. You need to hone in on your target audience.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, I'm fired up today, and now more than ever, we need to be focused on our digital marketing. And I'm super pumped and blessed to bring you our featured guest today, Ginzburg. What's up, Gene? How you doing? Are you ready to be real?
Yeah, I am super excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me. And let's jump right in.
Let's bring the fuego. Absolutely. So now more than ever, folks, we all need to lean in to wherever we're at. If we haven't started a business, we need to think about maybe starting to put business. And then also we're going to say, hey, how do we get customers? How do I find new leads? And we'll talk about obviously some of the platforms being probably cheaper and better than ever because there is going to be people leaving the platform. And now there's room and opportunity. There's inventory for other people to buy digital ads. But Jean is a digital marketing expert. She is also a #1 best-selling author, a top 100 women-owned business. Shout out to you. That is fabulous.
Thank you.
Featured on Forbes and many other places. And we'll talk about how you can connect to her. But Jean, just excited to have you on the show today. First off, how's your day going today?
It's going really well. Yeah, I'm
going good.
Monday.
Starting a Monday off, right?
Monday morning for me at least. And I am super pumped for the week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us about how you help customers first, because we can get into more about strategies and things like that. But tell us about your story. What got you into digital marketing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been doing this for 13 years now.
Nice.
And I got started in it in the beginning, really kind of I wouldn't say by chance. I mean, the digital side by chance, but I was in marketing. And then I was like, I'm thinking of going digital. You know, I want to do everything related to that because it seems to be a growing industry. So right. 13 years ago, obviously, it was a lot different, but that's how I got into it. And then I worked for a few companies. And then 7 years ago, I decided, I think it's time that I start something on my own. And so I decided to start my own agency, and that was 7 years ago. And then since then I've had my agency, and then I've built a couple of other businesses. So it's been pretty exciting.
That's awesome. I mean, and at the end of the day, that's the most exciting thing about being an entrepreneur is you are in control, and you took advantage of that opportunity, seeing the impact digital is going to have. And so let's talk about that today, because we're all obviously going through this different time that we live in right now. With this pandemic, where all businesses are affected differently. I know we don't feel necessarily affected. I look outside my window. It still feels like the same window. It still feels like the same birds are chirping, but it's a different world. Let's just be real. So right now, what are your customers or your clients asking the most from you right now? What are they saying? I need your help more than ever on this.
I need your help moving my business online.
Yes.
That has been the biggest ask. And then marketing, it seems to be the second biggest ask. So first one is moving my business online because we have had to make so many changes to businesses. A lot of businesses weren't really prepared for this. So they're asking now, how do I take my brick and mortar, like let's say an attorney's office or an accounting office or something like that, and move my team online, move my entire business online so that we can all function digitally. So that's the first ask. And the second ask is actually I've been getting a lot of requests for marketing. And what I think is happening, and this is my theory, I'm not sure if this is actually a proven theory, but what I'm seeing is that during prosperity, when things were going well, people were making money, businesses were making money. People were like, it seems like I don't really need marketing as much because it's like, I'm doing pretty good. But now that things are very difficult, and if you want to survive this crisis, you're going to come out alive and come out, on top, or at least surviving at the end of this. It seems that you need to do marketing much more now than you did, before this whole thing hit. I know that's at least my theory. So I'm getting a lot more requests for marketing. How do I market myself? How do I get more clients and customers?
It makes most sense. Like, how do I find ways to make my business happen online? We're all moving on Zoom. We're all figuring out new ways to talk to customers. how can I still make sales and not have to necessarily see customers? It's the beauty of online. And then also, like you said, is, not just only that, but what happens when I get into my business? How does that change? And now you need to really now be more competitive, because there's going to be businesses maybe going out of business. Now this is the time you can go from fourth to first. You could go from 10th to third in the market, and make a big change in the market, because some people are going to leave because they weren't financially ready. They don't have the working capital. They're going to go out of business, folks. Let's just be real. There's big restaurant chains going out of business and closing restaurants, and it's going to happen across the board. So small businesses, there's going to be a few of them that go out, right? And so if you're in that category, now you can step up because customers are still have money. They're still going to keep spending. At some point, everyone's going to get back to some form of reality work and having flow of money and spending it on a repair services or whatever we'd like to buy. And so now this is the time you can actually be, I would say, really separate yourself from everybody by doing digital marketing. So that also gets me into the next question I have for you is, what makes a successful digital marketing campaign? I know that's cliche. I know there's a lot of different great, but what truly makes a great campaign? I mean, is it just getting more clicks? Is it getting, every client has, I know, different expectations. But to you, if you were to sit there right now and they're not able to talk to you, or they're not working with you, but they're planning on, getting this going for themselves, what can they do right now to make a great digital marketing campaign start?
So, I have the answer to this question, and it's not about the digital. It's actually about the campaign. The best campaigns, the most successful campaigns there are two components of it. One is your ideal target market, and two, you have your messaging down. That's it. It has nothing to do. Most people think it has to do with the fancy clicks and the more, reach on Facebook and their awesome ads. Yeah, nothing. All of that is possible once you get your messaging down, once you're targeting the right people. That's it. It's actually like that for any campaign, whether it's digital, offline, online, it doesn't matter. You get those two things right. The rest to me are tools. Facebook ads is a tool. Google ads is a tool. Retargeting campaigns are tools. You know how to set them up. You put a picture, you put some copy. All of that comes from the right messaging and the right target market. That's it.
But then the next question I'm sure they're going to have for you is, what about budget? I don't know if I have enough money. I mean, I know we you hear, it's going to cost you $5,000 to do Google ads. Can people do Google ads for less? I mean, I know that they can, but you can do Google ads, I think, for $1 a day, folks, right? Yeah. I mean, it could be, if you wanted to test something. Is there a sweet spot to you, though, on campaigns as far as spending on an ad campaign? To see the most results come in. I mean, I think a lot of times people either do too less or they do too much, and then they basically regret spending too much and saying, I didn't really get the results, or they spend too less and they didn't really get any action at all.
Yeah, honestly, so the answer to that is that there's not, the right answer in the beginning is just to do testing. So the one misconception I feel that businesses or entrepreneurs have is that they start running Facebook ads and they expect to have results right away. That's not what you do with the beginning stages of any ads, Facebook ads, Google ads. In the beginning stages, in the first initial phase, you are just doing testing. You're just trying to see, is the message resonating? Am I targeting the right audience? So I'm spending money just to get some data and to review the data and understand the data. That's it. You're not trying to get results in the beginning. That's a huge misconception I see in the industry, is that everyone's like, so I'm going to start making money tomorrow. No, tomorrow you're going to start doing testing. That's what you're going to be doing.
Great point.
And then once you have tested and you see, okay, I'm seeing that my ads resonate best with females between the ages of 25 and 45, and they are buying on desktop, as the placement. Then you create an ad that is targeting females 25 to 45 who are only on desktop computers. That's what you do. It's not about making money in the beginning. It's about just doing some testing, and you can do testing very, very inexpensively. You can start at $10 a day, $20 a day, just to get some data and understand, am I doing this right? Is the messaging resonating?
So good point. That's such a great point right there that she gave you guys, folks. Please remember this and think about this. When you're running your digital marketing campaigns, results don't happen initially right away. Now, maybe the message resonates. Maybe you have a timely message or a product or service. Maybe it goes viral. etc. These are things you can't really control in your campaigns. You can't control if something goes viral, but if you have the right product, if you're got the messaging right, like you said, it could go viral. Now extra people are sharing it. Now it hits the news, and now your product is getting extra love that you didn't expect. But for the most of us, when you're running your ads, at least in the first 30 days, I would say at least, you need to be looking at like what actually happened, right? Like who actually clicked on these ads? Like was there any engagement? Did they fill out any of these requests? Can I correlate any of this stuff? Because if you're not reaching the right people, then you're wasting money. And so you need to turn that ad off or change the targeting or change the messaging. And so thank you for sharing that. I think that's a great point in the beginning, is that you're collecting data, folks. And then you can look at the data and then try to go for the results,
Absolutely.
And that might be where you up the budget more, because, so in the beginning, folks, don't go with some crazy handed budget, $1,000 a day budgets, which sounds great. But the thing is, it can go quick. These platforms will spend the money and they don't care if you really get results, so test the waters, if you want to call it that. But thank you for so much for that value. I love that. I think that's a good point that not many people talk about, is the data part
and then
first.
It's a huge misconception.
Yes.
I think even digital marketers don't even talk about this, which I think they should, because they're digital marketers, they're the experts. But in the industry, entrepreneurs just expect that, like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to start making money. That's not how ads work, and they never have. You start tomorrow, you start testing. And everything in digital marketing will be a test, because, again, you need to hone in on your messaging. You need to hone in on your target audience. If you have, and you've already been doing this for a while, then it's much easier for you, because then you can very easily target the right audience on Facebook, get the right message in front of them. Right. But if you're just starting out, or if you haven't tested out your ads, then this is what you're going to be doing in the beginning.
That's such a great point. I love that. I think that's just, I've interviewed so many different people, even myself, on campaigns, because you kind of want to get to the results. We all do at the end of the day.
Of course we all want.
We just want to get that bankroll rolling in, folks.
Yeah, we all want to be bankrolling tomorrow, but it's not going to happen.
But you need to think about this. Yeah, because you don't know. You don't know, is this messaging resonating? It's like taking a shot in a hoop. You don't know if it's going to go in unless you keep practicing at it and you learn from it. And so I think that's just a great point. But now we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm super excited. Top 10.
Let's go.
Let's go for it.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't really use either, but.
Really? Okay. What, do you watch content, or how do you?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I used to have Netflix for like years, and then I got rid of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of good content on Hulu. Yeah, there is. There's quite a bit of content on Hulu. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
IG. Chicken or steak?
Steak.
There you go. Do you have a favorite cut of steak?
I was vegetarian for 7 years.
Really?
So
okay.
I'm kind of getting back into meat now, I would say.
Slowly.
New York strip or filet
There you
mignon.
go. Yeah, the best ones. The least amount of fat and stuff. I'm all about those too. Those are the best cuts. And folks, there's nothing wrong right now with eating more vegetables on your plate. Just remember that. You don't have to be completely vegan. I mean, if you want to live that way, shout out to you. But just, if you eat less vegetables, eat less meat and more vegetables every day, you're going to do okay. That's the key thing, I think.
Much better option, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And because life is about variety. Everyone has their own variety of spice of life. And laptop or a smartphone?
I mean, a laptop. I wish I could get to the point where I'm just using my smartphone, but there's just not that much functionality. So with work, still a laptop.
Laptop rules. It still rules. It's amazing how fast they've gotten too. These laptops are like literally almost the speed of desktops, it feels like. When I go back to thinking my past desktops, or laptops when I started my business 11 years ago, I'm like, dang, this thing is really fast. It's amazing. Same with the phone, obviously, as you know. Spotify or Pandora? Pandora. Movies or video games?
Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Listening. I don't read books anymore.
Yeah, Audible, or do you have a favorite?
Yeah. Audible, baby. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do the 1 or 2x speed up, or do you listen at the normal speed? Does it depend on your listening? The reader?
1.5 typically.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you go too much, then you kind of don't go. You kind of don't get it all unless the reader is really slow, and then in that case, you can speed it up maybe even to 2x because it kind of feels normal. But then some of you got him talking too quick, and then the next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even really hear what he said. My boy Tom Billy said he's doing like 3 or 4x. I'm like, God damn, how do you do that?
Wow, I don't know. I don't think I would process.
I know. I'm like, dude, I don't know if it would fully process, but he's Tom Billy. So check him out. He's an amazing guy. Stocks or real estates?
Right now, stocks, but getting into real estate.
Are you? Yeah, it's a good time possibly to buy in the next 6 to 10 months, 12 months, maybe even more. But oceans or lakes, when you're thinking about vacationing, taking some time off?
Lakes.
Do you have a favorite lake?
So there's a lake. Speaking of real estate, I just bought land up around Colorado where I live.
Oh, nice.
And there's a lake called Turquoise Lake, which is like 10,000 feet up.
Wow.
And I'd say that's one of my favorite lakes. Yeah.
Wow. It sounds amazing. High up there too.
Yep. Alpine Lake.
Is it cold or is it,
cold. Freezing. Yeah.
So you bought some land to hopefully eventually build a house or just to have the land?
Yeah, we're in the process of building a house up there now. So
how exciting.
How that goes now with the whole COVID thing. We literally bought the land beginning of March, and then this whole thing started.
Oh, wow. Well, you just sit on it for now, and then maybe you'll be able to get some deals if people are slow or something like that. You might be able to get some deals to get things done, But
it has been our dream to build a house in the mountains of Colorado.
Wow. Well, good for you. Shout out to you. I mean, like I said, it's probably going to always still continue to be a great time to own land, real estate, etc. Although even if obviously the prices go down, you're going in at a good time, So when you wake up in the morning, you're getting yourself ready, Gene, for the day. You're looking at yourself in the mirror. Why do you love being you?
Oh wow, I've never been asked that question.
Yeah, there we go. What?
I love being me.
Yes.
I think I love being me because I love supporting my community, and I think that's what I love about myself. I mean, I didn't used to be like that. I mean, when I was just kind of down and doing my thing, but now I'm much more about. It's not just about me anymore. It's really about helping other people who, need help with digital marketing or social media or whatever it might be. So I think it's just more about giving back now than it was before.
Right. Yeah, because you're in a different place maybe too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you get to different places, you're like, you know what, there's a bigger picture to this whole thing.
Yeah, I think it took me some time to get to that point, and I think as an entrepreneur, you're kind of given this message. It's make bank, but it's but really, what's the bigger picture? What are you trying to accomplish? It's much more than that.
Yes, and as you make more money, more money, more problems, as Biggie would say. Yeah. It ain't always the best thing, So just remember that, folks. And I always leave this with people is that the world could be a better place with just a little more love and a lot more respect. And those two things, along with gratitude, being grateful you can drink water and the simple things you like. It sounds like you're outdoors with listening to nature or whatever you enjoy. That's literally happiness. And with those things, you don't need much money. Most things that you enjoy that make you the most happy, maybe a bike ride. You start smiling. That didn't cost much. Yeah, that was a bike cost. But I mean, outside of that, the simplest things are what brings the most joy sometimes. So always remember that. I always love sharing that because sometimes right now it's hard to remember those things. People are a little more panicked, a little more caught up, and a little bit more, frustrated maybe because we all are about what's going on. No one wants this. I want to be on a plane to go to Paris. I want to go somewhere, go travel. I got the itch again because I'm like, man, I can't be traveling with my family right now, supposedly. So do you think you'll ever retire?
No.
Nice. Okay, there you go.
Many times.
There you go. Yes, keep the mind going. Keep those synapses going.
Yeah, because it's now with technology and medicine and everything, I mean, we'll probably live to be 150. So it's why would I ever want to retire? Seems kind of boring.
Too soon. Yeah, you don't know how far it's going to really go. Maybe we might be retiring when we're 120. So
exactly. Maybe at that point I might, but
at that point you're like, I'm done. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that might be the quarter point. You don't know, our halfway point. How do you typically start your day? Do you have a routine?
I usually my mornings are pretty slow. I like that. I'm not quick to get out of bed and run. I've always been kind of a slow waker upper.
That's good.
Probably not very productive, I'll be honest, but
everyone's different.
That's just how I am. My body just I need a few minutes to kind of get out of bed. And
sure. So absolutely. Everyone has different routines, We're all different types of people. And so you obviously have figured out what works best for you. Yeah. I think that's the most important thing is self-awareness. to go against self-awareness when you trying to wake up early when you don't really want to. It's like, don't wake up early, you know? So go with your body and go with your energies and your soul. But also, obviously, we do have to wake up eventually and work. We don't just sit on the couch all day. You know, we have some sort of routine and rhythm to our energies. I think that's a great point that you do too, is that you don't necessarily just push back and say, I'm not going to run to my fires and my emails and all those things that I know are probably sitting there for me. I'm going to kind of wiggle myself awake and get myself ready for the day. I love that idea.
Absolutely. And I remember when I first quit my job, like when I started my business, it was like one of the things I remember was like, I don't have to turn on my alarm. And that was like the best thing. I think that for me, that was like a big win in my life. I was like, finally, no alarm.
You can live by your own life. I mean, that's a true blessing of entrepreneurship. We control our own time, and you can work at whatever pocket of window works best for you. I even have a power hour for my business where we can just get the whole thing done for my responsibilities in the business in 1 hour. Even though some days I'm working 8 hours on the business, if I had to on a Saturday or Sunday, I could just oversee everything in an hour. And I got other team members doing obviously other stuff, but I call my power hour, you know? So for everyone, it's different times. So that's the greatest point of an entrepreneur, is that you can control that. And the not having the alarm, and I love that. That's a blessing, you know, because
I know it's the small things. You know, people always are like, oh, success. It's like everyone has their own success, right? And for me, that was success. I was like, wow, I don't have to turn on the alarm and get woken up every morning.
Hey, it's peace of mind. We only have one life. You got to live the way you want. If you could sit down and have a lovely steak dinner with anyone in the world, and they're coming to you out there, I know you're traveling in the Arizona area, who would you like to have come on a plane and come visit you?
Gary V.
Gary V. I know. You interviewed him too.
Yeah. I've never had a dinner with him, but I've always wanted to. I've had a strategy session. He's been on my podcast, but the next step is trying to get him to do dinner. That's my next, that's my next pie in the sky.
And you can have that, because if you already got those things embedded with him, I'm sure at some point he's going to say, hey, you know what? Let's do something.
Maybe. Yeah,
you never know. Gary Vee, obviously he's a busy person, but right now I think he's leaning in on giving back because his businesses have changed. His life's changed with the.
Maybe I should reach out to him.
Yeah, you should. Now's the time. I think I remember one of my guests was saying that, like, he's hitting up all these people, like main celebrities and high-end people for his podcast, because he's like, now's the time. They're more willing to do Zooms and shit than ever. And he's actually got people coming back to him. I'm like, holy shit, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm thinking about my wall of people that I have all around me. And I'm like, damn, I need to start reaching out to some of my heroes and saying, hey, I really want to have you on the show. Now we're 225 episodes into it. Let's bring you on, baby, Drew Brees, or whoever my people that I could never even reach out to. You never know. The point in having a show, though, is it's kind of fun because you just never know who you could reach out to and who you can get on the show. I'm sure you probably never thought you would get a chance to interview Gary Vaynerchuk.
I didn't. Yeah, it was totally like, I didn't expect that to happen at all.
So amazing. So amazing.
But yeah, it finally eventually happened. I was like, whoa, I guess asking you shall receive. Eventually you just have to keep working for it, huh?
You truly have. You have a great energy, Gene, just so you know. I think that's the best thing that I can also give to you in this conversation, is that keep going with your energy. Your energy is awesome. Your soul is amazing. We're going to keep on helping people with their digital marketing. Where can people find more about the business?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on any social media platform, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Just go to Gene Ginzburg or Google, like find Gene Ginzburg, or you can Google me. Yeah. You can find my book on Google or on Amazon. So yeah, just go to any platform. You can DM me on any of those platforms too.
And we will definitely be putting that in the show notes. Like I said, I think your business can continue to grow. This is the time people are going to continue to want to step their game up in digital marketing. And why you got to do it with the pro. You got to do it with the professional. So shout out to you. I hope the business will continue to thrive. Love your energy. Love your soul. I love the tidbits, especially about the collecting the data. Love about the not having the alarm clock on the days. Such a great way to live. Folks, you've been hanging out with Gene Ginzburg and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening today. Right now, more than ever, folks, we need to work on our reputation for our businesses. And get those reviews, get those positive reviews, get those positive recommendations on both on your social, but also to market on your website. And that is why you want to check out my business, folks, our software, realtimereputation.us. That's realtimereputation.us. Please check it out. It is literally the best thing that's ever happened to many of our campaigns, as that reviews bring together your social and digital campaigns. And the more positive reviews, as people are making those positive, decisions, they're looking at your reviews. And so the more you can get, the better. And make it easy and automated with realtimereputation.us. Check us out.